meet, and welcome to the general reading for all signs for today, the 17th of February 2024. I'm Ariel and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Shirley, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Deline. Thank you so much, Shirley. Thank you so much, Deline, and thank you to everybody for joining us today for this general reading for all signs. I'm reading today with the Old English Tarot by Maggie Kneen. And I've got this new Vervain Utopie by Roger and Gallet, and I'm going to use it for my Van today. 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. This perfume is beautiful. It's a little bit more of a composed perfume than an actual Van, but it does have a nice Vervain note to it, so I do like it. It's just nothing will ever come close as far as the commercial Vans to L'Occitane. That's the one that smells the closest to the true lemon verbena, other than just lemon verbena. Anyway, I digress. This is a general reading for all signs for today, the 17th of February, 2024. It goes out to a lot of people. So if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. You can find all the replays of the most recent tarot readings on our website, arielscorner.com. arielscorner.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link in the main menu. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you happen to be watching on YouTube live and you don't like watching shuffling, you can always fast forward to the reading by using the timestamps in the video description. If you're watching us on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without ads when you subscribe to us. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you're on YouTube, you could also use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving a donation. We do appreciate your support, but mostly what we appreciate is you being here today for this general reading. So let's shuffle this one more time. I think this is fine. Give this deck a nice clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for everybody today. I did mention that it's February 17th, 2024. All right, 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords, King of Wands. You know, when I have a 10 of Swords sandwiched in between some decent cards like this, it makes me think that sometimes we overreact to things. And just be aware of that possible tendency today, that maybe things are not as bad as you think they are, and maybe they're not bad at all. And I'm not saying that's always going to be the case, but give that idea some credence today, as you might be tempted to react to something as if it's a catastrophe. It may not be. It may not be. In fact, it may be an opportunity, and it may be very different than what you think. And to listen to that guidance, to listen to that inner small, still voice that can help you to interpret things rather than just being from your reactionary mind. This King of Wands is saying today's actually a very powerful day for you as far as opportunities go, or at least looking at opportunities, surveying the opportunities that you may have as you look forward, maybe over what's coming up over the next week or 2 weeks even. So make sure that that's where you spend the bulk of your time, is listening to that inner voice and looking at where you're positioned and what you want to do and where you want to go, and definitely not being super reactive to things. Because sometimes what happens is when we react to things, even if they are bad, our minds aren't focused on this inner guidance or on our goals or anything. And so we can sometimes make really poor snap decisions when we don't really assess a situation. Now, obviously, if you're in a dangerous situation, you have to do what you got to do, and you just fly by the seat of your pants. But for most of you today, it's not really that. It's really taking a break, taking a few breaths, pull back, and wait before you react, because it may not be quite what you think it is. King of Swords, Pope card, Three of Cups. Okay, so if you're reacting to perceived authority figures, that could be it. And also this King of Swords is an old habit of assuming that whatever's coming from this perceived authority figure is automatically something that is a call for war on your part. You don't want it to be a call for war on your part today, because that's going to just you're going to waste a lot of time and energy that is supposed to be leading you toward success. That energy is supposed to be leading you toward really amazing success, the stuff to celebrate. And you're going to get there no matter what, because you've really set it up well for yourself to get to that success. And it may be a slow burn too. It may be a not as quick of a journey to that success. Like I said, even several weeks or more to get to where you want to be. But it's worth the wait and it's worth the effort. And you don't want to be distracted, because you don't want to slow that down even more. You want to keep the pace up. And so this reactionary idea that you're powerless in the face of some authority figure may cause you to do things that you'll have to regret later. Or say things that you'll have to clean up later. And that's fine too. I mean, we all go through that, and if you do, you do. But you don't need that extra delay. That's the whole point of this. You don't need that extra delay. You don't need to allow the old you to be in charge here. You know what I mean? We've all come a long way. Now, there's the old you that's good. The real you has always been there. But this kind of, sometimes we create personality traits in order to survive, in order to cope with things. And eventually those personality traits become outmoded. And that's what this is really talking to me about today, is there's an outmoded King of Swords tendency in your past that does not come from listening to that inner guidance, and will perceive things in a very different way than this inner guidance. And if you don't allow that King of Swords to be a thing of the past, then you're going to see everything through that lens, and you're going to respond or react actually to situations in a way that are going to slow down. I know I've said this several times, but I want to really make sure I bring this point home. Slow down your success. It won't stop your success, because your success is kind of baked into things right now. It seems like you've already really set the wheels in motion. You'll have to work hard to not get to where you really want to be going. It'll have to be a full-time job for you, which, we're all capable of self-destruction if we want it. But I'm really not thinking of it in that way. I'm just thinking about your journey on the way doesn't need to be so prickly, doesn't need to be so upsetting. Now, if you do have a problem with a perceived authority figure, which can be, a family or a family member. It can be a boss. It can be anything. It can be a company. Anything that you think is the Goliath to your David. Recognize that David didn't slay Goliath by getting all upset. That is not how it worked. If he got all upset, he would have been eaten alive by it. He sat back and listened to that still small voice within, and realized that if he could just aim it just the right way, he could find the weak spot and be done with this problem. And the same thing goes with you. But see, he wasn't being, if you're going to use that story, that David and Goliath story, he wasn't being reactionary. He wasn't listening to the King of Swords. He wasn't all upset. He wasn't all, I'm right and you're wrong and I'm going to show you, because he would have been destroyed. He had no, if you look at physical brute strength, who had more, it wasn't him. But this Eight of Cups is talking about that inner guidance, and he knew just what to do, and Goliath had no chance. And the same thing goes for you. If you can calm down, you can pull back. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to necessarily even attack this authority figure, but if you listen to that wisdom, you'll know what to do. And the authority figure will end up being putty in your hands, and it won't be a big deal, and you'll get what you want, and you'll move on without all of the delay that is being cautioned against in this reading. Okay, I want to talk about this Three of Cups for a second and this King of Wands. This is really where you're headed. This King of Wands and this Three of Cups are talking to you about a very long-term trend of success based on the things that you do well, things that you are good at, things that you love, whatever your work is that is important to you, to understand that you're kind of in the flow of Saturn here in the most positive way, and that you will have so many reasons to celebrate if you just stay the course and you stay going forward with where you're headed, and you don't allow past tendencies to kind of co-opt your experience from you. And the Ten of Swords here, that prickliness, that sort of reaction to things, it's so old. It's such an old way of doing things. It can be very challenging to say no to it, but you can do it. You can do it. You don't need to be up in arms, either externally or internally, about anything, because you are safe. You are protected, and you're not vulnerable to this. Not one bit. You are not vulnerable to whatever this happens to be. Now, if you have time and you have the inclination today, there is a meditation that I recorded based on this Pope card. I know it's called the Hierophant here, but it's the Pope card in the old decks. And it's the same card, and it's called Overcoming Feelings of Powerlessness. A lot of times we think we overcome feelings of powerlessness by leaning into that King of Swords energy or that Ten of Swords energy, where we're just going to be the warrior and we're just going to go kick ass or something. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work for you. So you have to put that down. You got to lay that down and find a new way. And the new way is the wisdom way. And that's by listening to this inner guidance and following it and realizing that you have all the power in the situation, as long as you don't start reacting. And even if you, like I said, even if you do start reacting, it's not the end of the world. You will clean it up, but you will be delayed in your success. And you don't want more delays, because this is already kind of a slow boat. And it's good. Slow and steady wins the race, but you want to be slow and steady. You don't want to be like stopped. You don't want to delay things anymore. So watch it. All right. You're going to do great though. This is your future is so bright in regards to where you're headed. So this is just a blip today, and it may not be anything, and it won't be anything actually. If you listen to that still small voice, you may not even notice it. But if you go back into those old habits, then you're going to create problems where they don't need to exist. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Shirley and Deline. And we'll be back for another general reading tomorrow. I hope you join us. Until then, blessed be.